All right, and good morning. It's September 2nd, about 10 minutes after 8, and today is a pretty big day. We leave Russia and enter Kazakhstan today. It's roughly about 3 hours. I think it's about 150 or 200 kilometers to the border. We will spend some, as of yet, undetermined amount of time at the border, cross, and then travel only, I think, 50 kilometers, 30 miles or so to the hotel. So it should be an interesting day. We have to spend all of our Russian money today or convert it at the border. So should be a great day. It's a cold start, 46 degrees outside. So today I'm wearing my new balaclava. I bought this in Ekaterinburg. And I have new gloves, and so that ought to keep me warm as toast, hopefully. See ya. Hey, so it is September 2nd. It's about noon, and we are 14 miles from the Kazakhstan border. We stopped at this place for lunch, and you can see the tour van behind us. And if I go like this, you see a bunch of motorcycles and guys hanging out outside. It proved to be a bit of a challenge for lunch. They only had enough food for, I think they had 6 bowls of soup, and that's about it, and some waffles and some other things. So we made do the best we could, and all that said, I'm kind of giddy like a schoolgirl thinking we're about to hit the Kazakhstan border, which should be really fascinating, interesting kind of a transition. So, with that said, I'll give another report, maybe at the border if possible, but they seem to frown on doing any filming at any of these borders, so probably can't do it. It's 10 after 2. I'm leaning on Martin's bike because I don't want anybody to know I'm doing this, but I am at the Kazakhstan border. We've crossed over into Kazakhstan, 2:03.
Time change.
Oh, right. So, 3 o'clock. Yeah, got it. Martin is right. It's 3 o'clock. So, at any rate, we're here. We've crossed through customs and immigration on the Russian side, went through no man's land about 3K, and now we are, we've crossed through customs and immigration here in Kazakhstan. We are now in Kazakhstan proper. The next thing we need to do is to buy insurance because apparently it's illegal to ride past that gate right up ahead of us. So anyway, that's what we're going to do next. Hey, so still September 2nd. Time is now 4:30 local Kazakhstan time, and I'm now at the insurance agent and coffee shop. They sell insurance and coffee for 30 cents. And if you'll notice, if I do this, just over there, that's the border. And that's the processing center. So from my last report, which was a good 90 minutes ago, I've traveled, let's call it 300 yards maybe, and it's taken us an hour and a half to get temporary 15 days worth of insurance. And all of us now have insurance, but unfortunately, Feroz and Mina had a visa that didn't allow them to enter Kazakhstan by land. It was a visa for an airport, and so no matter what they tried, the Kazakhs won't let them in. So it looks like they have to now go back into Russia, go to Moscow, and take a flight into Almaty, which is where we're going to be in 4 days. And in the meantime, I guess the van will have the motorcycle with them. We'll transport that. I don't know how they're going to get from here to Moscow. That's a long way to go. In any case, probably get back to Ekaterinburg and take a flight to Moscow, then take a flight to Almaty. It's crazy, but you know, little tiny details when they go wrong have big implications. And so another report when we eventually get to the hotel, which is only 34 miles away. That's it. Thanks. Bye.
Okay. It is now 4:45, and we have 40 miles to get to the hotel, and we're finally on the road again. As I mentioned in my last report, a lot went wrong at this border crossing, and the latest is that Feroz has a visa, and so does Mina, that expires today. So that means that they technically need to get from here back to Kungar, and then from there they need to fly to Moscow, and then from Moscow, which is an international airport, one of the only ones, they need to fly to Almaty in Kazakhstan, and we will be there in 4 days. In the meantime, they will have taken their motorcycle, loaded it in the van, and that motorcycle will eventually catch up to us at the hotel tonight, and we'll continue on to Almaty and meet them in a couple of days, but the story doesn't end there. Because they had already completed the process of importing the motorcycle into the Russian Federation. Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, and Russia are part of the Russian Federation, the Russian Union. As part of that, that motorcycle is now imported. And so it has to be exported again, but for us, will not be able to export it because he's going to have to fly out. I don't know from where. He'll have to fly out of Kazakhstan. So he may spend 4 days with us in Almaty and then not ride the motorcycle at all, and then have to fly to Kyrgyzstan, and we meet him there, and he gets back on the bike for the next part of the journey. So anyway, a lot of crazy complications, and we had been warned that this kind of thing happens, and as careful as all of us are, we just don't know. You do your best to protect against all these eventualities, and sometimes the eventualities are procedural. You made a mistake and you have to correct for it, and sometimes they are bureaucratic. Somebody just decides to impose some new restriction of some kind. So in any case, that's the story, and I'll give another report using a proper camera once we get to the hotel.